Happy New Year to you. I hope you had a great break over the Christmas and New Year holidays and are relaxed and have had time to spend with your family or your friends, or just chill out and kick back and just take a deep breath and go, 2023 is over and here we are in 2024. So, hello. So this is the first of our Monday morning videos. Now, something interesting, slightly different. What we're doing today is the same broadcast is going out on our Be Inspired group. If you're watching in Be Inspired group, hello and good morning to you. We're also sending this the exact same one out on our YouTube channel. Now, normally we do two different ones, but today we're doing the same one for a very specific reason, which will become clear as we get into today's content. Now, clearly, it's the beginning of the new year. We're on January, at the very beginning of a new year. And at this time of year, more often than not, most of us tend to think about, okay, what have we done and what have we achieved last year? Do a bit of a review. We've been talking about that over the last few weeks on our various different events and broadcasts. And then we start thinking about, the upcoming 12 months. What is it we'd like to achieve? Start working on projects, business goals, maybe some personal or professional development outcomes that we really want to focus on. So they're the kind of things to begin with that we're going to start off with today. Now, I've got a couple of announcements as well, but I'll save them towards the end. But the one big thing I want to tell you now, and I will repeat over and over and over again, 2024 is the year to do more. So Do More in 24 is going to be our big campaign to really leverage up all of the personal and professional development that we've been doing and will be doing to really set our goal, set our sights high. And with setting our sights high in mind, let me quickly just add up my couple of slides I've got for you for this morning. Now, I say this morning because some of you won't be watching this in the morning because you'll be at work. You'll be watching it later on in the day, on the afternoon, and that's fine too. It doesn't really matter when in the day you watch it. Now, one thing, it's probably a good idea. In fact, I should have said this earlier. It's a great idea to have a pen and paper to hand for this particular video. I guess you can watch the video and then do the exercise later, but there is an exercise here. And I really want to encourage you to do this because we're going to be coming back to this time and time again in all of the videos, both on our YouTube channel, the Get Motivated channel, and also on the Be Inspired group. And more about how you can get involved in all of those things later on in the video. Okay, so let's just get on. As I've said, it's also on our YouTube, the Weekly Motivation YouTube channel. So we're on both, same video on both this time. Normally they're different videos, but there we go. And there's a reason, which will become clear. Okay, so let's do more in 24, which is what we're going to be campaigning on and really encouraging people to really stretch out there and do something different. And with that in mind, BHAG. Now, some of you will know what this means. Big BHAG, big being part of a clue here. And if you don't know what it is, it's this, the big, hairy, audacious goal. So when you see this, and you'll see this from time to time over the coming months, we'll be talking about this. It really is this notion of the big, hairy, audacious goal. This notion of a big thing that gets you up in the morning, stretches you, encourages you to grow, both professionally and indeed personally, and really put all of the skills and things that you can learn in personal and indeed professional development to use. One of the things that, we sometimes here at the team here at UKCPD find frustrating is, people go through all the courses, all of the coaching, and then do nothing with it. It just seems so, so crazy. So we want you to leverage all of your learning and really put it to good use. So big, hairy, audacious goals. Now, I've often said that small goals are more important to focus on than big ones. And that is true in the sense of steps. So what we're going to encourage you for this year is to have a big goal. And that could be anything to do with your person, to do with your profession. Maybe you're starting a business. Maybe you're just starting a side business. Maybe you've completed a training program and you want to sort of set up your coaching or your NLP practice. Maybe you want to improve your leadership skills at work, whatever it might be. Maybe you want to move house. We moved house last year. Maybe you want to go on a holiday with your family or write a book. Who knows? The big, hairy, audacious goal. So the big headline thing is what we're going to be encouraging you to think about what that might be for 2024. Now, first thing about that is break it down into smaller steps. The big goal is great and it's motivating, but if it's too big, it can become a bit overwhelming. So we have to break it down into smaller, as we say in NLP, small chunk measures. So what's the first step and all of those kind of things? So with pen and paper to hand, hopefully you've got that. That's kind of what we're going to start off with. We're going to start off with an overlap from last time that we sent out a video. So hit this, sorry, I've skipped ahead here, but this is the Venn diagram of the big, hairy, audacious goal. You know, what are you deeply passionate about? That's a good question to ask. What am I passionate about? Am I passionate about this? Do I really enjoy being involved with that? How can I link that to a future goal to develop myself? Maybe my business, maybe my profession, who knows? Is that linked to my economic engine? Now, it doesn't have to be, but it can be. And if it is, it's going to be more motivating, because one of the things, Jim Rohn talks about measuring success, it's easier to measure financial success. Other things sometimes are a bit more woolly and more difficult to measure. That's not the only measure of success, but it is an easy one to measure. And then another question you might ask is, what can we be the best at in the world, or in my environment, or in my office, or in my employment, or within my family, within my industry, within the college, if you're a college member and you're thinking of what can I be really the best at and contribute. So these are the kind of questions you might want to ask yourself when it comes to the big, hairy, audacious goal. Now, you'll remember back in December, we talked about the 10 goals, that we had this exercise about writing them down. So here's the exercise for today. Take a moment and focus on the list. Now, hopefully you've still got that to hand, or you can kind of remember it. And the question is, what was that number one outcome that surfaced to the top of that exercise that you really wanted to happen and work on this year in 2024? What was that? Cast your mind back, or if you've got your notes to hand, take a look at that and have another really strong look at it. Is this the right one? Now, if it's not, you might want to go back to the original list. And you can watch the other video if you can't remember what that process was. Think about, okay, it was that. This is the thing. This is the thing. Okay, so here's the exercise. For a minute, close your eyes and visualize this outcome. Make it really crystal clear in your mind. Close your eyes. Just think about what that's like. You've achieved this goal. It looks like it sounds like all of those kind of things. See yourself enjoying. This is important. See yourself enjoying it. So it becomes motivating, right? And if you need to make your picture bigger, brighter, stronger, all of those kind of things that we would talk about in NLP. Now, at the end of this process, I'm guessing by now, you ought to really have a clear, fairly motivating idea of what having this outcome as a reality will mean to you. What it means to you in a sense of achievement and value, but also in a almost more important way, what it will do for you. You know what I've said before, the goal beyond the goal. If I do this, I'll be able to do that. So really, really, Brian Tracy would say, having great clarity about what this goal or this outcome will really mean and do for you. So that's very, very clear. Hopefully we've got that by now. Now, if not, just go through that process again of really thinking, if I get this, this will enable me to do that. Make it big, bright, strong picture in your mind. So now, this is where the pen and paper really comes in. What's the first step? What must you do ASAP to get this process of change, this process of moving towards your outcome to happen? What's that first step? Who must I call? What research must I do on the internet, perhaps? Do I need to go and see somebody? Do I need to go and do something? Do I need to meet people? Do I need to tell people that's what I'm going to do? That's probably a good thing to do as well. Tell people what you're going to do. Then you get a sense of accountability, partnership. What's that first step? When you're clear about that, write it down. What must you do to start this process? Write it down. Write it down right now. This is what I need to do to start the process of achieving my goal. Write it down. Now, and again, well-formed outcomes, NLP, what will be the evidence? Contract with yourself or an accountability partner. What will say, yes, I've successfully completed and fully completed this step in the process. Now, remember, we're going for the big, hairy, audacious goals. This is the first step. We're breaking it down into steps. What we see, hear, and feel says, yes, I've taken that first step. I'm on the road. We're down the track. We're you know, we've bought the ticket. We're committed to making things happen. So what will you see, hear, and feel to say, yes, this has happened? Write it down right now. Get your pen, your paper, and write it down. Now, the point of writing it down is if you think it, don't think it, ink it. Because if you write things down, it becomes more important to your unconscious mind. And we all know how powerful that can be to start engaging the process of figuring out how you're going to make this happen and become a reality. So now, here we go. This is about strategy. So once that's complete, we're imagining that's done. We've got it written down. We know what we're going to do. What happens next? What's the second step? And again, write it down. Now, the point of this is we're beginning to develop a strategy. So the first step, this is what it is. Remember the big hairy audacious goal we're working towards. The first step. Now we're on to the second step. What is it? Write it down. And when you complete this task, write it down now. When will you do this? When will you do this? Write it down. No time frame. It will go out the window and it'll never happen. What will be the evidence to say, yes, this has been fully completed and we're well onto the process now. We've completed the second step. What will I see, hear, and feel? Write it down. Write it down right now. Now, commit to taking action today. Once you finish watching this video, just go and do something. Pick up the call. Or one of the things that can be very, very useful is rewrite the notes that you've written down, scribble down now as you've been listening to me. Rewrite them in or type them up in a nice thing, stick it to your fridge and stick it in at least 3 places in your house or in your office where you'll see it all of the time. Think, I've got to do that. I've got to do that. I've got to do it. Tell somebody else, I'm going to do this. So commit to taking action today after the end of this video. Go and do something. Send yourself an email, put a note on your phone, stick it to the fridge, whatever it takes to make sure you start doing what needs to be done. Okay. Bit of information for you here. Hopefully you've got all of that down. Upcoming webinars for you. We've got a lot of stuff happening in January, so I'm going to keep you updated. So open event, we've got the Kickstart 2024, Aim for Success, and that's on January 10th. Now I'll put the links to these on the comments below. The Be Inspired, the first Be Inspired live group event will be on January the 11th, so the day after. So there's a lot happening, as I've said. And then I'll just mention this now for those of you who have asked me questions about it, and a lot of you have emailed in over the holidays about this, Christmas holidays, that is. Will you be doing another one, Q&A about NLP practitioner training? Yes, we will. That will be on February 1st. February 1st. And one other thing, for those of you who are not college members, there will be some promotions going live on the website in the Think Big section of our website, probably today, in actual fact. So you'll be able to have a look at that. But an email will go out to let everybody know. Okay, so there you go. Let's do so much more in 2024. And hopefully we will see you on the next big live event, which will be great. So once again, what are we doing this year? Doing more in 24. Earn more, live more, succeed more, enjoy more, and all of those kind of mores that you can possibly imagine. And UKCPD, of course, will be your partner in success. Okay, that's it for now. Let me just check my notes. Yes, I think I've said everything. Take care of yourselves, and see you very, very soon. Have a great week. Bye for now.